Want to know how you can turn scrap wood like this into fun and functional art? Stay tuned. Hi everyone, I'm Advige and I'm a coastal magnolia, and today I want to show you how you can take scrap wood like what I just showed you and turn it into something like this. This was made using recycled pallet wood, recycled fence boards that people have thrown out, and I've sanded them, painted them, and turned them into something beautiful, kind of funky, and it's functional art. I sell these at craft shows. They're really big sellers, and I really enjoy making them. So I hope you enjoy watching and consider subscribing to my channel. First thing I'm going to do is grab this bug spray because the mosquitoes will tote you off. Going fishing in the wood pile today. It's time to make some art. To get started, I give everything a good scrub with a wire brush. The sanding comes later. Then I take a hammer and a pair of pliers and I get rid of all the nails. Then I start laying out my boards. I just take two back braces that everything will be nailed to. And I spend a lot of time looking at the different knots in the boards, the just different textures, something that maybe could be an eye or a mouth. And then, basically just take wood glue, lots of wood glue, and my air nailer with brad nails. And now the fun starts. I get to draw out the fish, and although I kind of already have an idea of what it's going to look like when I'm laying out the boards, it's still fun to finally start drawing it out. And then I start cutting it out with my jigsaw. The tail and the fins are last because a lot of times what I've already cut is the perfect shape for a tail or a fin. And you can see the tail is perfect shape. So when attaching the tail to the fish, I use a lot of glue again and my air nailer, and I want to make sure that I use enough that tail is not going to move. And you can see, using a lot of nails, but that way it's not going to move. And then just cutting out the fin, and I spend a lot of time sort of, with good placement. I just want it to look natural. I want the fin to look like a natural fin. So I do a lot of cutting and a lot of fiddling. Do a thorough sanding front and back. Pay attention to the edges and make sure everything is really smooth. Now I'm just laying down my color. I'm just using house paint that I've got from Lowe's just over the years. Just a oops paint.
Everybody shake, 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 shake.
This second color is also an oops paint that I had to transfer to a glass jar because the can was rusting. That's a lot. Yeah, that's a lot, but I made the best of it and just smoothed it out with my roller and got my edges really good. So you may have noticed that I didn't paint the tail earlier. I did paint the edges, but one of my favorite things to put on tails and fins of my fish are the antique and vintage nautical charts. And I've found these at various estate sales. I've been gifted them by friends, and I just really like using them. It's just a very unusual thing that people seem to like. Another quick sand and we're ready for paint. I'm just taking really thinned out paint with my brush and creating splatters, being careful not to get on the fin. I'm trying to burn the edges of the nautical chart off to clean them up, but daggum, I told you these mosquitoes will tote you off. And so another little spray there. Rather than use a knife to trim the edges of the nautical chart off of the fin and the tail, I'm using a barbecue lighter, and you can use anything with the flame, and you can see the mosquitoes are still bugging me. And I thought that this thing was out of fuel. It just was not staying lit. And then, of course, it's coastal Florida, so it's always windy, and we had just had a bad storm the day before, so... And I didn't want to take this inside and burn it inside and set the fire alarm off. So I took it back behind my shed and got it to work a little bit better. It wasn't great, but it worked. I like to add layers to my pieces. I think it adds a lot of visual interest. Taking a metallic gold paint pen here and just defining the edges of that middle part of the fish. What I'm doing with the tacky glue is I'm going to be applying gold foil to certain areas just to add a little bit more layering, a little bit more texture. I did have some glue on my fingers, so the gold foil kept sticking. Once everything sets up, then I will take a chip brush and just wipe away the excess gold foil. Now he's getting a top coat of polyurethane just to protect the wood, protect the paint, and just overall give a great shine. Here's the final product. He's all ready for a day at the beach. I hope you enjoyed watching my video as much as I enjoyed making Mr. Fish, Mr. Shark, Mr. Dolphin. I'm not sure what he is, but he is super cute. Thanks again for watching, and I hope you consider liking and subscribing to my channel. Cheers!